Well, hello, everybody. It's Saturday, January 3rd. I thought I would do another devotional. My first idea was to do these Monday through Friday, but just to kind of get them kick-started, I think I'll do one on a Saturday. And I think it's important to get off to a strong start, but I got to tell you, I just really enjoy doing this. So, January 3rd, Psalm 16:11. You will show me the way of life, granting me the joy of your presence. That's a key phrase, the joy of your presence. God's presence evokes a variety of responses in Scripture. Some people are terrified in his presence. Others freeze in awe and wonder. And some marvel that they didn't recognize him after he left. Sometimes he appears with clouds and thunder. Other times he shows himself subtly and selectively. Regardless, there's one response we rarely see in a God encounter in the Bible, and that's joy. Why is that? Probably because his appearances are sudden events, and the first response to the trauma of seeing him can range from panic to guilt to awe to zeal. But for those who spend extended time with him, Moses in the tabernacle, David in his crises, and the disciples with Jesus, the alarm wears off and the relationship deepens. The result, David tells us in Psalm 16, is joy. Even today, many believers dread really getting up close and personal with God. That's because they don't know who he is. They haven't grasped mercy or understood his goodness. They don't know he wants to experience his pleasures. He wants us to experience his pleasure forever, or that one of his primary purposes for us is to experience his joy. And that's John 17:13. Few of us realize that he wants to delight us. His goal is that our hearts would overflow when we're with him. So I appreciate that. The idea is that when God showed up in the Old Testament, or in the Bible, in the Old Testament specifically, clouds and thunder, and he shows up in the person of Jesus, and there's more relational aspect to it. But when you spend more time with him now, that joy should be the result of that. And that's what David tells us in his crisis, or disciples with Jesus, the alarm wears off and the relationship deepens. The result, David tells us in Psalm 16:11, is joy. Again, I'll read that verse. You will show me the way of life, granting me the joy of your presence. So joy for many is just this aspirational word. When we enjoy his presence, we have joy, if we will. So Father, help me ignore the teachers who emphasize the obligation of serving you more than the pleasure of knowing you. Wow. I don't want to be a teacher that emphasizes the obligation of serving God more than enjoying him. Help me embrace the truth that you are zealous about my joy, and show me how to experience it in your presence. So that's a great prayer and a good reminder for me personally. All right. Thanks so much. Take care. God bless. Have a great day. Hey, we'll see you tomorrow, church, 10 o'clock. Take care. God bless. Bye.